Hello, Gemini. If you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. We'll see what your rorschach reveals, inspiring our psyche and psychic senses as we explore your aura for shapes or symbols that speak. Here is your rorschach, scroll style, if you want to take a screenshot to scry for your own shapes or symbols. And I'm going to dig in here. Gemini, thank you for holding space for me to share my insights and for being my muse. When you're ready, take a moment with me if you'd like to close the eyes, cleansing the palate, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. All right, let's go. Gemini will add on the spirit box in just a moment, as well as tarot and oracle along the way. Oh, there is something happening in your mind, and it's being zapped out, or it's connected to your hands, and work is being done. Work is being done with the hands. You're making something manifest. Your ears are also connected to this vibe that you're sending out, this manifestation, whatever the case may be, but it's like your mind to your hands. It's making it happen. It's making it happen. Or you're doing something right now that's making it happen. I'm also seeing something about a car. Maybe you're building a car, or you're going to be taking a car ride. Or maybe it's just the vehicle, the symbolic vehicle, the symbol between the two. Whatever you're working on is shining bright, like it's almost like a welding, even, if I may. So I'm like right here in the center, like I'm following it, and there's the light. Oh, I can't even with these. There we go. I do try with the camera, but nonetheless. Gems, let's keep going. Because you are a gem, but you're building your gem. You're manifesting a gem. Or you're working on something that's worthwhile, if that makes sense. You're working on something that's worthwhile. I'm also seeing a creature in the center here. I'm trying to discern what it is I'm seeing, because it's almost like an old school vampire. Like the bald head one with the pointy ears. Like old school vampire. And I keep feeling like this vampire doesn't have the same meaning or symbolic understanding that I might verbatim or, instantly apply to it. I feel like this is something else. Like I feel like, how I'm seeing it, the old school one where they were coming out of the coffin and be like, something is rising up, but it's almost like in this comical way. I appreciate the comicness about it. That's how I'm feeling as a guest in your aura, Gemini, so thank you. Because maybe it's an old idea you had that you're working on, or a connection with a person, and you're considering, raising up towards it. I don't know what it is, but it feels of light. Like I can see when I reach towards the hand of it, it's glowing, but there's work still being done. So maybe you're still considering something, how you're going to go about this plan. I don't mean it to look all evil. It feels very, very light. Something about, but it's not yet taking flight, because you're still working on it. You're still working on it is how it feels. Okay, let's add on the spirit box for Gemini.
Granddaughter.
If you have any afterlife edition,
knife,
that may add to any messages that you might receive as Geminis.
Where is it?
I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm checking it out. I'm on like this little piece of land. I don't know if this is like feels like a male. A monk or a priest or something like that.
Grandmother.
The denomination is not my concern. Something of a particular position. Could be a teacher, could be a lawyer, something along the lines. But I am seeing it more in like I don't even know if priest is the right word. Friar? Anyway. And they're speaking to a woman who I'm seeing as, okay, so whether this is the male or female energies or an actual male expressed, female expressed, again, those for your understandings, I'm not going to get constipated there. The male energy in this friar, monk, priest, something or other is speaking to this woman energy that is much taller. And she's pregnant with this idea, or you might actually be pregnant. Congratulations. But I'm sensing it like I'm pregnant with this idea, this concept, this birthing of, maybe it's this work being done. It's almost like when I come back to, inside of the self, the work being done inside of the self, right? So maybe you're nurturing and birthing something within you, a trait, a skill, yada, 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 yada. I come back to this vampire because 37. It's almost like this vampire. Dracula. Maybe Dracula is a better word for it. Maybe it is Dracula versus, like a vampire is Dracula, but not all Dracula is a vampire, but not all vampires are Dracula. Like a jacuzzi is a hot tub, but not all hot tubs are jacuzzis. Anyway, Gemini, I feel like things are coming in really fast, so bear with me. Typically, I like to saunter. When I come into this Dracula feeling, whatever it is that this portion of you is creating, the reason why I'm seeing it as a Dracula vampire is because it's like a blood transfusion, and it's taken everything that may be perceived or was received, vampiric, banshee, whatever the case may be, and it's like a blood transfusion. It's cleaning it and it's moving it into something really, really good. It's like those burdens. I am in pain. The pain is being transformed into pleasantries. Castle. But even the process, it's like this constant thought to remember that caliber. There's also something about the pointy ears of listening, because the ears are connected into this. And you know what it feels like? Sorry, I'm back in the Dracula vampire. If any, like a force field. So if anyone was to come at it or try and, you know what I mean? Curiouser and curiouser. It's almost like there's a quality of curiosity you will have a conversation about. I don't know if that sounds like something, but like just because you're curious doesn't mean you get to know. There's a quality of curiosity, something about the connection you may have with somebody or some things to further discuss this. I'm also seeing snake eyes, but they're separated. It's like one snake. Well, I guess, anyway, it's not the point, but I'm seeing them separated. So their scope of seeing is even wider than normal. Okay, so I'm back into this connection with this male mouse, female, but I'm seeing her as something very specific. It's like something from when I was a kid. That's just the symbol that's trying to come through. I don't know if it was like a shampoo bottle that was in the shape of a princess, or like Aunt Jemima, the syrup. It's something. Siblings. It's something classic. It's something classic. The character's not necessarily the point. It's not a point of contention. It's what I'm doing with it. Who is this watcher? There is a watcher. So these two are having a conversation. Let's see if I can share this. These two are having a connection. There's the friar father or male figure, and then there's the female who is, pregnant with something, birthing something of one, even if it's of oneself. And then this is the watcher. See how they're like step back a little bit? Oh, and then there's another set of eyes. Whew. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Geminis, hold on. I don't know if you have a lot of set of eyes on something, or you feel like eyes are on you, but this feels
My baby.
different. You might have a mother in spirit that's watching you. It's not the Watcher. The Watcher is another male. The Watcher is somebody I'm seeing from like a comic book strip from when I was a kid. It's not the point. They don't have a whole lot of features. They are starting to like dissipate, so they're not of this world. They somehow, it is what it is. I don't need to explain it. They're not of this world. Okay. They're just watching. You know what show I'm in? I'm in the movie show Fringe. And there's the Watcher. Was it September? So September, is that his name? I'm gonna call it September. And he watches, and they're not supposed to get involved, but he does. And there's something inevitably about the end,
Blessed.
spoiler alert, that there is about a child. I don't know if this mouse is your father, or you're birthing something that you are nurturing like it's your child. Okay, that's really not for me to try and put together. You are the creator that connects the dots. There also could be a connection that's being repaired, stepping forward to. If there's somebody that, male to female energies, right? Energies, not the earthly expressions. And it's almost like there's a coming together or a stepping forward to repair something. And somebody is observing. Could even be the shadow aspect, gems, if this is a portion of you. And I also want to remember that I am in the Gemini. This male and female, this, that, or the other could be you all at the same time. This could be an entire internal investigation of oneself. Absolutely. With different characters coming in to help clarify that it is all internal and it is being viewed external, the way you're judging it, the way you're perceiving things, the way you're moving through things. I do feel like there's a female in spirit.
What is this?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. Seeing a raven. I believe it's a raven. If that symbol means anything to anyone.
How do I use it?
I think it's a raven. They're like sitting on a perch of a spiral of creation, which I'm receiving is something inside of the female energy, but also being fed by the Dracula that's transmuting like a blood transfusion. I also want to know that maybe somebody is going through blood transfusions to help, and they're receiving,
Closed.
Maybe from blood donations or something like that, and it has to be cleaned first to come in to harness your light and bring life back into, your
Psychic.
2 feet and a heartbeat type thing. And it's working, but there's also these conversations on the side, like you can hear maybe your parents or your siblings or somebody having conversations about you, about what you're going through in your health. I'm also seeing like a vegetable peeler. That's random, but I'm seeing a vegetable peeler, like peeling back layers. Spiral of creation. Good morning. Coming back over here, there's this a raven or a crow.
Throat.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it there. It's like getting ready, like if you were to see a bird getting ready to take off, and it would almost be like this chaotic moment of, you don't know if they're just getting ready to go or they're squawking because something's happening. Okay, I'm gonna start adding on some Terran Oracle. I feel like I've yammered on in this reflection of this Rorschach. But fascinating stuff, fascinating stuff.
Blessed.
I feel like at some point in time, Geminis, maybe you can resonate with this, but I will say it. The Dracula or vampires coming in again is that maybe your own sights were small about something, and you could have been taking away from your own wideness of perception. You could have been squinting for something.
Monster.
And yeah, 6 of submersibles. Maybe you felt abused and used in some regard. Yeah, and you're looking... Okay, so I want to note here, Lady of Leviathans and 6 of submersibles. Male and female aspects are both busy working away, looking at something.
Where am I?
Maybe you're trying to figure out where one is. I'm not entirely sure.
Sit down.
Something about the squinting is coming through again, and opening your eyes to technomancer. To see frequencies, maybe you're trying to swoosh or smoosh. What is that? The navigator. Okay, Gems, give me a second, because I feel like in flipping here, yeah, I'm tuned into something else. There's prongs like in a plug. I'm being tuned into something else from this perspective. Maybe it's in this
Seance.
lady
Above.
and man.
Cancer.
Both navigating. It's almost like when I was saying,
None.
see how I'll see if the camera can pick it up. He is reflecting on, will it come through? Probably not.
How did I die?
So there's a picture. He's reflecting on memories. So there might be a portion of you, Geminis, that is reflecting upon someone, something, maybe a job you had or a connection you had with someone, and you're reflecting. Maybe you're doing it right now, appreciating this person because change is afoot in one way, shape, or form.
Never.
Remember when we were talking about like the female was like birthing something or
Liar.
some sort of idea, because there's a lot of work, detailed work being done there, and it's going to come to life soon. Like this is all the light that was in the hand, like the whole Dracula Frankenstein thing. That's what that feels like. Guarded gates have been around at some point in time. Guarded gates. And I'm seeing a camel. A camel. There's something about a long journey. It's been quite the journey in whatever aspect this is, Geminis. Oh, excuse me. And I'm also seeing a snail, but the snail has the spiral of creation. So both slow and steady kind of feelings, but one really carries water and one always has 33. Its home on its back. 33 master number. These two have been serving quite well in separate, like the snake eyes, but in their own respects. But something about the center of the squinting. Magician in the mirror. What's happening with my cat back there? Little man. Yeah, there's this whole like fire and water or air. Cleansing and creating. Cleansing and creating. Door to spirit. We were talking about spirit at some point in time, were we not? It was a woman in spirit, possibly a mother if I'm recalling. There's this Martha. Magician, maybe Martha. The magician might also be part and part of a watcher, like watching.
Car.
You know, if you say you do something and then you have to go out into the field and your professor or somebody like your supervisor watches you to see how you're, putting the tools to use. Are you fixing the car correctly? Are you this, that, or the other? That watcher may be like a magician master watching these
Where am I?
tools, people, places, or things play out.
29.
Angel of Strength is coming through. And Door to Spirit. It is a woman in spirit
4.
that's coming through. She's very strong. She's very protective. But not in a way that stifles. Second angel, your Ariel.
Stop recording.
No thanks. I'm almost done. We're almost done. Man holding a heart.
Jacket.
Garden gate. I think this might have been a mother who passed on from a relationship where the man is still alive, walking and talking. The relationship's been healed, or whatever the adventures were in their last incarnation, it's been healed. Their contract is complete. Heartfully. New caring connections can be made. I am the goddess of the moon. Please enjoy your happy family. That was a lot that came through, and I love that. I dig that. Patience. Patience, Gemini. What's going on in the patience? We are closing out here. Time. Whoop. Time. She might come through sometimes as birds or this raven or this crow or something along that lines. There could also be somebody, when I was speaking of that woman from the other respect in the Rorschach, like you want to be pregnant or have a family, but like your clock's ticking. Protection. How you doing? I will come to you in 2 seconds. And inspiration. All right, closing out here for Geminis. Courage is on the bottom. Another lion. Lion symbology may mean something to someone. So we have here protection, well-being, and inspiration. Okay, Geminis. Again, woman birthing something for the whole world. Now, whether that whole world is your family, your direct world. I'm also seeing a hanger, like where you hang things up on. And a visor. A visor in a car or the rear view mirror. Like I'm moving on. Okay, sorry. Back to the cards. Closing out here for Gemini. My goodness, I get so distracted. Sorry, not sorry. The Dracula vampire, which is of you, doesn't feel external to you. The blood transfusion, the life force is currently being inspired. And it's creating that light.
Electric.
It is very electric. However you're going to pursue when you decide to share it with the world.
Bored.
And enhancing inevitably your overall well-being and the well-being of the world. Like she has it, and again, this is just the energy of it, and she's going to share it with the world in the hand. And it was right there in your Rorschach as well. It's in the hand. It's in the hand. I also feel like it's highly protected from a woman in spirit. A camel has been slow and steady, wins the race kind of feel. But you always, like, home is where the heart is, and I don't mean to be cheesy, but the camel always has water, and the snail always has a house on its back. And maybe sometimes the simplicity of those things are worth certain sacrifices so you can continue building what you're building, doing what you're doing. Because it's magical. All right, Geminis, I've taken up way too much of your time.
Margaret.
I am completely grateful. Thank you for being my muse. And until next time, thank you.